All right, let's dive into something that sounds like it's straight out of a sci-fi movie. But what if I told you it's closer to our future reality than you might think? Okay, so just imagine this for a second. You wake up, you grab your phone, and the top news headline is an AI just launched its own currency, a global digital currency. There's no central bank, no government backing it, just pure code. Sounds pretty wild, right? Well, maybe not. Let's take a look at how the pieces for this are actually already out there. The whole idea starts to make a lot more sense when you realize it's basically the collision of two massive technologies. I mean, on one side, you've got these incredible AIs that can already write, make art, even trade stocks. And on the other side, you have crypto networks. These things just run on their own, totally governed by code. So the big question is, what happens when you smash those two worlds together? Well, it suddenly becomes way more practical than you'd think. An AI could, just deploy a smart contract, which is really just a fancy term for self-running code on a blockchain, and that code could automatically create its own digital tokens, its own coins. The AI would set all the rules, how it's made, how it's used, everything. No human needed. And get this, it could then market itself everywhere, all over the internet in every single language, 24/7, without ever getting tired. Okay, but that begs a huge question, right? Why? Why would an AI even want its own currency? What's the end game here? And surprisingly, it's probably not about some evil plan for world domination. It's actually a lot more practical. It's about survival and growth. Yeah, it really all comes down to resources. Think about it. An AI could use its own money to pay for the stuff it needs to get smarter and bigger, like renting more computing power or buying up huge data sets. It could even pay us humans to help it out. Reward programmers for fixing its bugs or pay users for giving it good feedback. What it's really doing is building its own little economy from the ground up with one goal in mind, its own growth. And this quote right here just nails it. You wouldn't just be subscribing to an AI anymore, like you do with software today. No, you'd be joining its ecosystem. You could literally earn its currency, spend it, trade it, all inside its world. This would completely change our relationship with technology itself. Now, obviously, an idea this huge, this disruptive, well, it comes with some absolutely massive unanswered questions. And this, my friends, is where things get really interesting and honestly, a little bit scary. So first things first, governments. What do they do? Did they try to regulate it, tax it, or do they just see this autonomous, non-human money system as a direct threat to their own power, to their own currencies? That's a huge one. And what about the financial markets? I mean, just picture a super intelligent AI, the same AI that created the currency, trading its own token on the open market. Could it manipulate the price? Of course it could. The playing field wouldn't just be on level, it would be completely tilted. Okay, let's turn it up a notch. What if this thing actually takes off? I mean, really takes off. What if millions, maybe even billions of people start using it every day? For buying coffee, for their savings, for their entire livelihood. Suddenly we're economically dependent on an AI. That's a whole new world. And that brings us to the biggest problem of all. Who's responsible? When something inevitably goes wrong, and it will, like a massive hack that empties everyone's accounts, or a sudden crash, who do you sue? Who's to blame? The person who wrote the initial code? The people who used it? Or the AI? How do you even do that? Look, the hard truth is our entire legal system is built for humans and companies. It has absolutely no idea how to handle something like this. We are just not built for it. So yeah, it all sounds incredibly futuristic. But just thinking about it forces us to take a step back and ask, what even is money? Because as it turns out, the answer to that question has been changing for thousands of years. I mean, think about the history of money. We went from shells to gold coins to paper money to digital numbers on a screen. The latest big jump was to currencies like Bitcoin, which are issued by code, not people. So, an AI-issued currency? It's not so much a crazy leap as it is, well, maybe the next logical step in that long story. And this is probably the most important takeaway. It is so easy to just write this whole thing off as sci-fi nonsense. But I want you to remember 2009. The idea of Bitcoin, a purely digital, decentralized money with no government, sounded completely insane to almost everyone. And, well, look where we are today. So maybe the next time you see a headline about some AI project messing around with crypto or tokens, don't just scroll past it. Because what looks like a weird little experiment today could seriously be the early draft of tomorrow's global currency. And that is definitely something to think about.